Hello, this is Marnie Kramer-Kile, and today I'm going to talk about your first study group session. Our goals for today are to have you review the NCLEX-RN test plan in regards to the activity statements, to separate the work needed to make study maps within your groups, and to establish group norms for your functioning as you move through this course. So the first thing that I'm hoping you've brought to your study groups is the actual detailed NCLEX-RN test plan. You can always tell it's the detailed plan because it has this fellow on the front of it, and it's very long. I think it's, oh my goodness, about 60 pages in length. What you're going to do as your first exercise in your group is you are each going to highlight the activity statements that you need help with on this test plan. So if you go to the first activity statement box, I believe it is on page 10, and I'll show you it here. It's in the Management of Care section. So you can see this table here that has all the activity statements in this section listed on it. I want you to go through this test plan to all these tables in the 8 client need areas, and I want you to highlight areas that you may not have studied for a long time or areas that you may have difficulty with, because we're going to start finding some commonalities for topic areas in your study groups. So just pause the video, do this, and then restart it again when you're ready to move on to the next area. The second task that I want you to do today is to go to part 4 of this module, where I have all of the different study strategies and tools. And I want you to go to part 1 to the study map section. And on that part of the site, you're going to find a Word document that says study map topic areas. So what I've done is I went through your MedSurg textbook and I highlighted the main disease conditions covered in the textbook. So the first thing I want you to do in your group is each individually with this sheet is to actually highlight disease conditions that you feel weak in or know little to nothing about. And that's what we're going to tackle for the first bit in our study groups, is that you're going to make study maps for those content areas. Please just note on the second page of the study map section, I have about 20 maps made already for you. So just make sure that you're not replicating maps that are already available to you. A study map is like a blueprint or an outline of the main things that you need to study within a pathology. When you make study maps ahead of time, it gets some of that organizational work with your studying done. So if you do this within groups, you can get more maps made a little bit quicker. And then you can spend time actually working on the content within those maps. So our work doesn't finish as soon as a map is done. It just begins, because I'm going to teach you through this program how to put extra information on these maps, how to attach your drug cards to them, how to write case studies on the back of them. So that's your second task. So please stop this video, take some time and do that, and then we'll come back to our last task today. The last thing that I want you to do today is to establish group norms. So if you go to part 4 of this online program, you're going to have an area on forming successful study groups. Please go and read through this section with your group, and then also spend time making group norms. The most important group norms that I've found that my students need are around when you're going to meet and the times. It's very difficult when you're all doing your preceptorship rotations to find times. So put your schedules together, and when you find a time together, that needs to be a priority. Please do not cancel out on your peers at the last minute. Meet in the same place and have an organized approach. I can't tell you enough how much peer support actually helps in this process of NCLEX preparation. There's been multiple studies on it. I've worked with institutions that have done specific peer support programs, and they have very high pass rates. So your study groups are important, and I'm going to give you the guidance that you need as you work through your groups. So create your norms, and I really suggest that you engage in positive talk about the NCLEX at all times. You are working together towards success. Please do not pick apart what you think your program did or did not give you in this process. I can assure you I know Canadian programming very well. We have met your needs. What this program that I've created is going to do is I'm going to pull out parts of your program that I think will help you in NCLEX preparation. So I really look forward to working with all of you. And at any time in your groups, if you need me, just email me at marnie@rnstudyguides.ca.